spoken truthfully. We were surprised that he asked him and said he was truthful. He said, tell me about faith. The Prophet said faith is to believe in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, the last day, and to believe in providence, its good and its harm. The man said, you have spoken truthfully. Tell me about excellence. The Prophet said, excellence is to worship Allah as if you see Him. For if you do not see Him, He surely sees you. The man said, tell me about the final hour. The Prophet Muhammad said, the one asked does not know more than the one asking. The man said, tell me about its signs. The Prophet said, the slave girl will give birth to a mistress, and you will see barefoot, naked, and dependent shepherds compete in the construction of tall buildings. Then the man returned, and I remained. The Prophet said to me, O Umar, do you know who he was? I said, Allah and His Messenger know best. The Prophet said, verily he was Jibreel who came to teach you your religion. This is an authentic hadith which is mentioned in the Sahih of Al-Imam Ahmad. So let us now study this hadith. And what have the scholars said regarding this hadith? Firstly, Al-Imam Bukhari, he starts his Sahih with the hadith on intentions, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, which we have previously covered. As for Imam Muslim, he starts his Sahih with this hadith, which is known as the hadith of Jibreel. The ulama have mentioned, and here are some notes that you must make. And if you don't have a book, pen, then it's important that you make some mental notes. Some of the ulama have said this hadith is known as Sunnah, just like Fatiha, Surah Al-Fatiha, is known as Kitab. Some of the ulama said hadith number 1 is like the Basmala, the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And this hadith is like Surah Al-Fatiha. Scholars have said that Jibreel came to teach the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he came to teach the companions about the religion. Others say that this hadith or this incident took place at the end of the Prophet's life, and in fact Jibreel came to summarize the religion. He came to help revise the religion. The hadith is preserved in its meaning, and the Quran is preserved in its wording and meaning. So this is very important that we should know of this, that the Quran is preserved in its wording and also in its meaning as well. When it comes to hadith, the scholars have said that the hadith is preserved in its meaning but not preserved in words. So there could be a possibility where the companions who have narrated the hadith might have narrated the hadith in their own words, or did not remember the exact words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and later on in the course we will see that and we will learn about that. But the meaning of the hadith has been preserved. When it comes to the Quran, when it comes